I'm Julia Polston with Indiana Constructors, Inc., as well as Work and Roads. And today I have Bryan Linenberg. He's a project manager at the Hoosier Company. Thanks for joining me today, Bryan.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I guess we'll just go ahead and get started with the questions. If you want to go ahead and just explain and tell everyone your highway construction journey, kind of where it started to where it got you to where you're at now.
Sure. So I have been at the Hoosier Company for 11 years. My first job in construction was with a commercial GC here in Indianapolis. But in 2009, I ended up getting a job with the Hoosier Company as an assistant project manager. And then over the next 11 years, I just worked my way up to project manager, and then was recently promoted to senior project manager.
Well, congratulations on that. I didn't know that. So I
Yeah, thank you.
Correctly at the beginning. That's awesome. So I guess just go ahead and explain everyone, as a senior project manager, what your day-to-day is. And I know with the pandemic and everything right now is why we're doing this Zoom meeting, even though we're essentially considered essential business. So I know a lot of people have been in and out of the office doing work, but I guess non-pandemic wise, what your typical day-to-day is as a senior project manager.
Sure. So just in general, the roles or titles of people in construction can vary from company to company. So a senior project manager at Hoosier may do something completely different than another company, but my day usually starts off in the office. I'll review daily reports from our foreman for the previous day's work. And then from there, it's really just taking care of whatever issues need taken care of on my projects for that day. So overall, my responsibilities include ordering material, scheduling crews and equipment, visiting job sites, attending progress meetings, reviewing job financials, and I also do some estimating. So on any given day, I'll do some of those things, and on some days, I'll do all those things. So it really just depends on the day, and that's one of the reasons I really like my job is it's something different every day.
That's really awesome. So is there a specific time when you knew, whether that was like prior to getting in the industry, when you really knew highway construction was the industry you wanted to work in?
I don't know that I ever had a time where I thought highway construction was it, but growing up, I always enjoyed putting things together like models and Legos and helping my dad with projects around the house. But when I went to college, I actually had not ever considered a career in construction, but about halfway through my first semester, I realized what I thought I wanted to do wasn't really a good fit. And that's when my dad recommended that I look into construction management. So I switched majors during my first semester of college. And after the first couple of classes, I knew that this is what I wanted to do.
That's awesome. You're better than me. I switched my major, I think, my sophomore year, and I changed it twice. So that's how I had to go a fifth year. I had to take a victory lap, but it worked out for me. So it's totally fine.
Yeah.
I guess to this day, if you can think of over all the years that you've been in the industry, what is or what has been the most rewarding thing about your job and working in the industry as a whole?
Sure. So the most rewarding thing about my job, and I think about working in road construction industry as a whole, is that we get to build things that everyone gets to see and use. I get a lot of satisfaction when I drive through a project that I was a part of, and I'll look at a certain part of the project and think, it looks really simple, but I'll remember, oh man, that was really hard to do. And then I'll see another part and I'll think, oh yeah, I remember that was really hard, but we had a really good plan and we all worked together really well and went together really well. So I don't know that there are very many other careers where you can drive around and literally see the physical results of your hard work and have them open for everyone to see and use. And I just think that that's really fulfilling.
That's awesome. When you mentioned that, I remember when I was younger, because my dad also is in this industry. And I remember usually it was like when we would have like a cross country track meet on the weekend or even like a basketball tournament that I would have. And my dad would sometimes take a detour on our way home. We're like, Dad, why are we going this way? He's like, hold on, I got to show you this bridge of this project. Project manager on it, or I was the estimator on it. And just the pride that my dad would always show. I didn't really understand it as a kid. I mean, yeah, I thought that was cool because, you know, the next time I drove that way, I was like, oh, you know, that was one of my dad's projects. But now myself being in the industry, I have a greater appreciation for that. So that's really, really awesome.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of the same thing.
Yeah. So I guess my next question would be, what would you say is the number one skill set that someone would need to have to succeed in a position like yours?
I would say the number one skill would be to not be afraid to get out of your comfort zone, and maybe to be able to convince the people that you're working with, or people that are working maybe for you, if you're in a leadership position, be able to convince them of the same thing. It can be especially important, like I said, when you're in the leadership role, to really get people to try to work together to build something that's bigger than the individual. And a lot of times that takes people kind of doing things that maybe they're not used to, or they don't think they can do.
That's awesome. No, that's really, really great to know. It's good for students to know too, especially because I know in your role or just in the industry as a whole, a lot of it's individual work, but a lot of it's also teamwork too. So that's really good. And then I guess my next question would be, if you were to be speaking to someone specifically, like a student that's in high school right now, if someone asked you as a student why they should choose a career path in highway construction, what would you tell them, or what advice would you give them if they were to choose this path?
Sure. So I think in my experience, highway construction has been pretty stable, which having been let go from a previous position because of market instability, it's something that I don't take for granted. So that's definitely appealing. And then I think also in highway construction, there's a lot of opportunity to advance your career if you're willing to work hard and learn from the people around you. So I think my advice to people just starting out would be to never say no to a new challenge when it's put in front of you. And just know that you're going to make mistakes, but the people that can learn from their mistakes and take that knowledge and apply it to the next challenges that they come across are going to be the most successful.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Well, I guess I can end on a fun note. Since we're in quarantine right now, even though state of Indiana is starting to slowly open back up, so we've all been spending an extra time at home. Has there been any like hobbies you've been able to focus on during quarantine, or anything fun that you've started maybe? I know my number one thing for me is I've been able to wear leggings all the time and not have to wear like actual work clothes, which has been like really, really great.
Right. So, you know, as you mentioned earlier, all of our work has been deemed necessary. So I haven't been able to work from home 100%, but I usually don't get to see my daughters in the morning before I go to work. So they've really enjoyed the extra time that I've been able to be home, awesome. And I get to have breakfast with them and sit on my lap while I'm typing emails and stuff. So that's been fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've got a lot of extra time with the dog too. So I do whenever, you know, life kind of resumes to normal. But
yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been great. I can't wait to share this with some high school students, and they'll get some insight on what to kind of expect and what to look forward to if they choose a career path in highway construction.
All right. Thanks, Julia.
Thanks so much.